Okay, so 2006. Just some random questions. Okay, so the first thing you asked me to look at was 6C. It's a functions question, so you're told first of all that f colon x, and there's an arrow, is equal to 1 minus 3x. That's just a particular kind of notation. Probably notation that we're more familiar with is the f bracket x notation. So, and it's okay to change that there. We're asked in part 1, sorry, but I suppose we can do the same thing then. We can say that g of x then from the question is equal to 1 minus x squared. And we can now start the questions. So part 1, very simple things that we're asked to do. We're asked to find f of minus 2, which means we're going to sub in minus 2 into x and to the left hand side or the right hand side wherever we see x in f. So it'll be 1 minus 3 times minus 2. That'll be 1 plus 6. So the answer is 7. For part 2, or sorry, same question. This time we're asked g of 5. Not a difficult question here, but you need to make sure you're using your brackets well. So just watch out for that. Remember, the calculator will do whatever you tell it to do, so just make sure you use your brackets wisely. Part 2 of that question. You're asked for f of x plus 1. You are asked to give it in the form ax plus b, and you're told a and b are an element of z. What I find with those parts of the questions, maybe just hold off worrying too much about those things until you get the ball rolling a little bit. Okay, so when we had f of minus 2, it meant sub in minus 2 for x. This question here we have x plus f of x plus 1. It means the exact same thing. Wherever I see x, I put in x plus 1. So f of x on its own is 1 minus 3x. F of x plus 1 is going to be 1 minus 3 by x plus 1. You can leave it, well, you can't leave it like that, because this is where I suppose the extra bits and pieces of the question kick in. Where it says in the form ax plus b, they're telling you to tidy it up. They're telling you to simplify it. So that minus 3 is going to multiply in. You're going to have 1 minus 3x minus 3. Tidied up a little bit, so minus 3x minus 2. And when we just compare that, we won't get too bogged down on it, but ax plus b, when we just compare that, the reason then that they tell us the piece of information, they say a and b are an element of z, what that's telling you is that it's okay to have a negative number here and here. That's nearly what you can expect to have, or even expect maybe that one of them would be negative. Okay, so it's always helpful to look at that. It maybe gives you an indication, am I right, am I not right? If that was for example, if that said a and b is an element of n, is a natural number, well then you'd be fairly certain that you had done something wrong, because you'd be expecting the numbers in front of the x and the constant, you'd be expecting them to be positive whole numbers. Okay, or if you got fractions. If you got fractions, even if it was a and b an element of z, if you got fractions in those questions, you'd know that you had done something wrong. Remember, z, integers, positive and negative whole numbers. Anyway, part 3 of the question then, you're pulling together all of the different pieces that you've looked at. So you've f of x plus 1 is equal to f of minus 2 plus g of 5. But if you have a look there, right, you already know what f of x plus 1 is. You already know what f of minus 2 is, and you already know what g of 5 is. So you can actually go straight ahead there and just start filling those in. So minus 3x plus, or sorry, minus 2 is equal to 7. I suppose you could say plus minus 24. And of course then that's minus 3x minus 2 is equal to 7 minus 24. Depends. Some people like to do it that way. Minus 3x is 7 minus 24 plus 2. Minus 3x is equal to minus 15 when you tidy up. And then the usual, divide both sides by negative 3. Cancel off for you. That's 5. Of course, you can always take this number, sub it back in here into this line, and just do a quick check for yourselves. I'm not going to do it now, but it's always a possibility. Okay? Alright. Next question. 6C. Oh, you'd asked me for 6A as well. Okay. So question 6A. These questions they can be a little bit tricky because they're just full of letters. The section you'll find this in their manipulation of formulae questions. But if you know your rules of algebra, or I suppose of equations, really well, then this will be quite manageable for you. V squared is equal to U squared plus 2AS. It says write S in terms of V, U and A. In other words, get S on its own. That's what we want. So if that S was an X and the rest of it was numbers, well, we'd bring everything else to one side and we'd leave anything that had the letter that we wanted, we'd leave that on one of the sides. Doesn't matter whether it's left or whether it's right. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. This is the only term that's going to stay on the right hand side. So I'm going to say V squared minus U squared is equal to 2AS. You can see the U squared is positive on the right hand side, therefore it's negative on the left hand side. Effectively you're taking U squared from both sides. Now V squared minus U squared, I can't tidy that up, I can do nothing with that. So I'm just going to leave it alone. I want S on its own, so I divide by 2 to get rid of the 2. I divide by A to get rid of the A. But what I do to one side, obviously I have to do to the other side. 2 and the A cancel off for me. So S is equal to V squared minus U squared all over 2A. And there's no more to be done with the question. Okay, that's it. Okay, what's next? So 4A. So 4A, again simple, but I think what probably throws people off on this is just the square brackets. There's lots of brackets. So let's take a look and see what we can do with it. So you've got 2x minus, and then you've got a square bracket, and it's 3 minus, and then you've got a curved bracket. The key with these questions is you work from the middle out. And I think there's probably one other little thing that will throw people off. That's a 1 there, and that's a 1 there. Okay. Again, the mistake that people make, they subtract these numbers here at the beginning. No. Okay. PEMDAS, you have to do the multiplication first. So what actually has to happen is that minus 1 needs to multiply in, and the 3 stays where it is. So we'll go ahead and do that. So 2x minus 1. 3. It'll be minus 4 plus 3x square bracket plus 6. See, anything on the outside still just drops down. I'm going to tidy up what's on the inside. So 2x minus 1 you'd probably be more comfortable with the 3x in front of the minus 1 there, but sure, it doesn't matter. Now more multiplication in. Again, the 2x drops down. Minus 1 by minus 1 or negative 1 by negative 1 is plus 1. You can just tidy it up and you're finished. Okay? Don't be put off by the square brackets. Now, question 3C. Talk about the part 1. You're asked to express in its simplest form. So it's a very straightforward algebra question, but there's an awful lot to it. Okay, it's a long question. That's you see a full page for this. So you've 1 over 2x minus 3, 1 over 2x plus 3. There's no equal sign in this part of the question, so you can't multiply across by anything. Okay, this is just a straightforward fractions question. Simplify the fractions. And what we know, to simplify fractions, we get our common multiple or our common denominator. You notice I'm not saying lowest because I don't know what the lowest is, because I don't know the value of x. So I just say 2x minus 3 and 2x plus 3. Now, strictly speaking, the procedure is bottom into bottom, drop down what's above, but just because I can't show you that on the screen here, what I'm going to say, it's like a crisscross. Okay, so it'll be this by that. So I'm going to say 1 multiplied by 2x plus 3, then write down the minus, and then it'll be what's here by what's up here. And you can reverse that order. Some of you will prefer to put in the 1 by the 2x minus 3, but just to be very fussy, I'm not going to. Should be able to do that anyway. So this 1 will multiply in here, this 1 will multiply in here. You need to be very, very, very careful of that minus. Okay? Really careful. So because of the way I've chosen to do it, I'm going to show you how to deal with that. And this is something that you can take with you for any algebra question that you're doing. So you have 2x plus 3 minus. Put it all in a bracket. 2x minus 3. This minus 1, or the 1 at the end here, when it multiplies into the bracket, it has no effect. The only thing that will have an effect is this minus in a moment when I go to multiply it in. It will have to go in here and in here. Now obviously I could have reduced the line of work if I had reordered this part, if I had said that it was 1 times 2x plus 3, or 2x minus 3. I can't give you an absolute way of doing these things. It depends on the question that's presented to you as to what'll be easy and what won't be easy. Okay, so what have we got? 2x minus 3 underneath the line, 2x plus 3. So above the line, 2x plus 3 minus 2x plus 3. That minus 1 multiplies its way in. Tidy up. The 2x's cancel off for me. 3 and 3 is 6. And that's as simplified as you're going to get that. Okay. There's no need to multiply out the brackets below the line. You can leave them be. Now, part 2. Part 2 of the question says, hence or otherwise solve the equation. So I'm actually going to spend a bit of time, well, if I have the time, I'm going to show you how to do this 2 different ways. You've got 1 all over 2x minus 3 minus 1 all over 2x plus 3, and it's all equal to 6 over 7. And what I would like you guys to notice is this portion here we have already simplified. You can see it here. It's that bit there. So I can replace what's on the left hand side with 6 all over 2x minus 3, 2x plus 3 is equal to 6 over 7. And then I can multiply across by what's underneath the line on both sides just to get what I need. Now, I suppose the quick way, you'll end up with 6 times 7 is equal to 6 times 2x minus 3, 2x plus 3. I'm going to multiply all that out. It's going to end up being a quadratic. You'll solve it using the guide number method that I've shown you, or the big X, the minus b formula. Now I'm going to stop there with that, right, because I'm going to finish this question in a minute. This isn't the way that we have generally tackled these kinds of questions. We usually tackle them in a little bit different of a way. Okay, so I'm going to show you that now. The way that I'm going to show you now, I suppose it means that part 1 of the question, you're doing a little bit extra work, I suppose, in fairness. What you need to decide is which way you want to do it, which way you're comfortable doing it. Really and truly, you need to be able to do all of it. But sure, we'll see how that goes. So 1 all over 2x minus 3 minus 1 all over 2x plus 3 is equal to 6 over 7. And our method, the way we've decided that we do it, is that we would multiply across each term by what's underneath the line. So you'll end up with, and it's going to get quite big, but then it'll cancel down for you, and then it'll be quite manageable. You'll have 2x minus 3, 2x plus 3, 7, multiplied by 1 all over 2x minus 3. and you'll have your minus. You'll have same thing again, 2x minus 3, 2x plus 3, 7, 1 all over 2x plus 3. And as the bell might go, but you'll just hang on for me for a second. What have we got here? So again, 2x minus 3, 2x plus 3, and then you'll have your 6 over 7. Sorry, I put that should be in blue. What will happen? This will cancel. This will cancel. The 7s will cancel. I forgot to put in the 7 there, sorry. You'll be left with, I'll just write out this line and then you'll know where to go with that. You'll be left with 7 times 2x plus 3 minus 7 times 2x minus 3, watch your signs of course, is equal to 6 multiplied by 2x minus 3, 2x plus 3. Now one little word of warning, people usually get the last part wrong because of the way they multiply it. You will multiply these two brackets first. And when you've got that done, then you will multiply in the third number. Okay? You don't try and do it all in one go. Alright? Okay, that'll do us for today.